Hello and welcome to another episode of Tara. There are noises around me, like my neighbours are just, people keep closing the doors. I don't know if any of this is getting picked up on mic. 282. Denpa Teki Nakunojo, Electromagnetic Girlfriend. I saw this anime, how long? 5 years ago, and it's only 2 episodes at 20 minutes each, I believe. It's a mystery horror, sort of in the vein of Another, with elements of elfin lead and Higurashi no Nakagoro ni kind of sprinkled in there. I remember the animation was subpar, didn't really impress me that much, and nothing about the sound design or soundtrack is actually coming to memory whatsoever, and I usually have a good memory for this kind of stuff, even the most obscure works. I remember some elements towards the latter half of episode 2 that I won't spoil here, that did get quite good and overall improved the rating I ended up giving Electromagnetic Girlfriend. However, in general, there wasn't that much there for me. It didn't really expand on any of the tropes or cliches that it was kind of relying on, and in general it was quite a average, slightly below average. I'll give it like a 4.8 or something, personally. That isn't to say it's overall bad at all, and especially for 2-episode OVO, it's definitely worth a watch. You might have a new favourite on your hands that like completely changes your opinion. I know there are quite a lot of people that really like Electromagnetic Girlfriend, and on my anime list it's actually got quite a high rating, around 7.6, 7.7, something like that, which is one of the reasons I think I actually ended up watching it in the first place. Okay, so the next one is 50. Mirai Nikki Redial. So I'm not going to get into Mirai Nikki Future Diary, the actual main series. However, Redial is a somewhat canonical sequel or ending to the ending of Mirai Nikki, which I didn't really want. One of my favourite aspects of Mirai Nikki, personally, to the ire of many, is the ending of Mirai Nikki, specifically the last episode. And the issue I have with Mirai Nikki Redial, essentially, is that it's not really needed. The same sort of animation, qualities, soundtrack, everything is the same and retained from the original series. Some people really like it as a alternate universe kind of resolution to the events of Mirai Nikki, but I prefer the actual canonical ending. Or, I don't know if this is canon, I'm not entirely sure. It might be. I don't know if it's in the manga, I can't remember. And next is 339. Kuroko no Basket second season Enjishu. I'm not even going to bother talking about this one because I've already talked about, I think, the first episode of Tara. 265. Hacka Doll the animation. So Hacka Doll is a mobile game that Studio Trigger ended up creating an advert for. So Hacka Dolls are basically artificially intelligent robots that you can hire to do handiwork for. Think Plastic Memories or Violet Evergarden sort of thing. And 3 defunct Hacka Dolls are created, and they're the 3 protagonists of Hacka Doll. It's a nothingness of an anime. It is a mobile game that was created to get as much money as possible. It was turned into an advert designed to market the money maker, and then adapted into a TV show because of the popularity of the characters, the artwork and designs, and also to make more money for the aforementioned projects. So I only went and watched it because it's Studio Trigger, and they've got so few works I thought I might as well watch everything they've got to offer. And each episode basically takes one of these Hacka Dolls and puts them into a unassuming situation and left to deal with the responsibilities that come with being a Hacka Doll. And some of the rude, crude humour and generally quite interesting characters left me entertained. I don't know what to say. I can't really defend myself here. I shouldn't like Hacka Doll. I shouldn't like Hacka Doll. Next is 652. KonoSuba movie. Okay, so I'll talk about this without talking about the prior 2 seasons, but considering this is the first time I'm talking about KonoSuba, I'll give a bit of an introduction. It's essentially a parody of the isekai genre. Think .hack, Digimon, Sword Art Online, Log Horizon, Overlord. It's so self-aware that it voids itself of a lot of the criticism that comes with most isekai anime. So the movie itself, one thing that took me back is, for a movie, it does not have the budget or the production quality you would expect of most anime films, especially films that are coming from a bespoke already established franchise like KonoSuba. But that doesn't really get in the way of what makes KonoSuba so special, and that is the characterization, the fun quirky moments, and the genuine drama that does keep you quite interested. You get to know these characters, you actually do develop, you see them develop, and nothing about KonoSuba I was expecting going in, so I ended up giving this a 7. And I would actually definitely recommend watching it, especially if you've seen season 1 or 2. They're essential watching to watch the movie in the first place, but if you've seen those two and you didn't know the movie existed, then yeah, definitely check it out. And last will be 92. Panty Stocking with Garterbelt. So, was this Studio Trigger or was this still Studio Gainax? Okay, so it's Studio Gainax. It definitely has the hallmark qualities of Studio Trigger production, and I wouldn't be surprised, in fact, I'm almost positive it shares a lot of the same staff as Tengen Toboguro and Kill la Kill. I can't be right. Panty Stocking's a bit of an oddity in the anime world. Uses the style of cartoons or Western animation like Powerpuff Girls quite a lot to tell an absurdly raunchy comedy. I love the character designs, love the world design, and then when we get into sound design, I absolutely adore the soundtrack. I think Teddy Lloyd did quite a few tracks for it. The story is very much hit or miss, but that's because it's a bi-episodic Western-infused anime. It's a weird one, it's a really weird one. It feels a lot more like something you would watch on Cartoon Network. For that reason, I would usually recommend to people that are predominantly English, watch the English dub, because it's really weird. It's weird to see such crass, vulgar jokes coming from the mouths of characters that are designed to look like someone you'd see on a run-of-the-mill Cartoon Network show. Panty Stocking is very much a hit or miss for people, and it falls in the hit territory for me personally. Even though most of the jokes didn't actually entertain that much, and I felt a lot of the parodies or contextual references were a bit on the nose and didn't really hit the mark that much. In general, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I've actually rewatched it I think once. I've only seen this twice, and I would like a season 2. We're never going to get one. That's kind of the meme, that is the joke. But yeah, it's a really weird part of anime history, I would say, like 2000s anime that I am happy exists and would like to see more of. I would like to see more of that Western-infused anime. You see a lot of anime-infused Western cartoons, think Avatar: The Last Airbender or Ben 10, but you don't often see the inverse. It's very much usually got its strict template, and then from that it expands. Like, you'll have the character designs of A1 Productions, which for all intents and purposes look a lot like the characters of Studio Dean. They do look totally different, they've got different art styles, I'm not saying otherwise, but they still have the same sensibilities. I definitely love it whenever, like Kaiba for instance, we'll get to that in the future, but I love it when anime takes Western properties and pushes it into the style of their anime. That's episode 5 of Tara. I said there were going to be some changes to my set last episode, and I didn't lie. There's stuff going on over there, but I've just not got it all set up yet. So I'm also starting university in 2 weeks. I'm going to be pretty busy, and I'm doing freelance contracts quite a bit for the next 2 months. So hopefully I'll be able to keep my somewhat so far consistent uploading schedule. I'm just going to add this to the end, but I've created a second channel called Kafka Champion, that's just my name, and I'm sharing vlogs or anything else, anything that wouldn't fit into this, what I'm going for with this channel, which I'm not entirely sure about right now. But as for the Shelf episode 5, that is on its way. It's going to be a totally different book to Neil Gaiman and Franz Kafka, and I hope some people might read whatever I recommend in the end. Anyway, that'll do it for me. I hope all of you have a fantastic weekend. Bye.